So hopefully you guys can see everything. I'm going to try my best to keep an eye on the comments because as I have tried before, I am doing my best to do this both on Facebook and Instagram. So just giving people a minute to join. I hope you guys are doing well, and thank you always for the support. So we're just going to give people a minute so we can start getting comments. Otherwise, I'll just chat about, again, my experiences. Let's see. Gotcha. Okay. Nobody's joined yet, and that is a-okay. It is, always busy for everybody. Anyway, I just want to reiterate welcome. Thank you for joining my AMA, Ask Me Anything, about cosplay and things like that. So I've been wanting to get back into cosplay for a while. Right now I've gotten vaccinated, so I feel a little more comfortable going out and about despite the unfortunate pandemic. However, I haven't really cosplayed too seriously since maybe a year after I left Korea, maybe 2 years. So in that time, my body has changed as we get older, things change. But it means that the costumes I may have had in the past aren't necessarily going to fit now. So what do I do? I'm not sure. Many of them were tailored already to my specific size that I was before. So many of the costumes are going to be unwearable at this point, which is sad. I may end up, selling them or giving them away depending on, the status, how well the costume is held up over time. Whether, it's had to be repaired or things like that. But that means I'm going to need some new costumes. So what does that mean? Well, most of my costumes prior are from either Princess Anna from Frozen or, let's see, anime related, whether it's Asuna Yuki from Sword Art Online or Tosaka Rin from Fate's Day Night. Most of them have been anime again or Princess Anna. I do want to get more into Disney. I really love doing Disney cosplays. I definitely have plans there. I definitely want to do, let's see, I definitely want to do Ariel. I definitely want to do Belle. Those are two that I definitely want to do. Besides Anna, I want to do all of Anna. So those are definitely, hi Adonis, hi. Those are definitely ones that I am considering doing for Disney, is Belle and Ariel. As I said before, I'm kind of interested in doing Rapunzel, but I don't necessarily want that long, beautiful, thick wig that is going to give me a migraine. So I'm debating on Rapunzel, but I might just do like her short hair version, because that would be either I cut my hair or I get a short wig, which short wigs are way easier to take care of and they do not hurt your head as much. So I may do that. Don't need this anymore now that I'm done setting up. Otherwise, those are the ones from Disney that I definitely want to do. For Belle, I'd prefer their easier outfits, like their day-to-day wear, because I'm sorry, ball gowns, hoop skirts are a pain. Sorry, a pain. And I mean, Adonis, I don't think you've done any Disney princesses, but maybe some of our friends have, and they break very easily. And it can be expensive adding up after a while. So I definitely more interested in their normal costumes. For Belle, I could probably just use my regular hair, get rid of this green streak that you can barely see anymore. Well, it was blue, but now it's green. But Ariel, I would probably need a wig. I don't think I could. I could probably pull off more natural red hair, but bright red hair, probably not for me. So that one I would probably, end up getting a wig for, even though I'm not a big fan of wigs. They have their place. There's only so much you can dye your hair, especially if you want to keep it healthy. Other costumes I'm considering, and again, Odanis or anybody else who's there, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just chit-chatting here, just telling my current plans for cosplay since I've been out of the cosplay community for a while. Otherwise, I've been into streaming. I'm do them like every other Thursday right now is my schedule. So next Thursday, I do streaming. And other day, like the other Thursdays, like today, I do AMA. But since I'm getting into streaming, and unfortunately I don't have a lot of time for it because many of you know I have medical issues, like many cosplayers do. We all have our challenges. But those medical issues do make me very tired. So it could be hard for me to do more regulated schedule, which is, like I said, part of why I cut back on my posts, just so it didn't overwhelm me, because cosplay is my hobby and I wanted to enjoy it. Anyway, besides the point. We all have our issues and we all work through them, and I love cosplay. Regardless of the exhaustion and stuff, I want to cosplay. And so I've been streaming. If any of you have checked out my Twitch, again, Jess D Cosplay, I have been streaming Genshin Impact and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep on the PS4. Kingdom Hearts is fairly easy for me, but I do struggle some with Genshin Impact because it's, an open world concept, and the controls. I struggle with the controls. It happens. Whatever. I like gaming. It doesn't mean I'm a pro gamer. I do it for fun. Like, I get 2 people on my stream every day that I stream. Like, it's my cousin and my friend Teddy. Oh, and Lagan joins sometimes. So 3 regulars. And that's okay. I'm not doing it to get more followers. I'm not doing it to, be popular. I do this because I love it, and I want to share what I love with you guys. It's part of why I do AMA. So, anyway, I've been playing Genshin Impact and and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. So those are other. I'm just looking for the name of the character because I am hopeless with names. And I find it. 1 second, guys. I'm just moving this so I can see something on my computer. No? There it is. Okay. Sorry, guys. Anyway. So, we'll talk about Kingdom Hearts first, just because I'm more familiar with that one. But I am interested in cosplaying as... My mom really likes Aqua from Birth by Sleep. I haven't actually played her arc yet. Maybe I'll get... My mom's visiting me at the end of April, and so maybe I will get a chance to do it then. That would be a lot of fun. So, to get to her arc, I'm in the middle of Ventus. I finished Terra, so I'm in the middle of Ventus, but my mom really, really loves Aqua from Birth by Sleep, so I'm definitely considering doing Aqua's character. However, I love Kairi. I do. From the original Kingdom Hearts, though I may do her Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit, I think, is the one I'm looking at the most, but I just love Kairi. I do all her outfits. Like, she's adorable. And she's very, positive, loving character, and I adore her. But, her and Aqua obviously have a lot of similarities. As you know, Kingdom Hearts has this, or as you may know, Kingdom Hearts has this, sets of 3. And so, Aqua, Terra, and Vent are basically like the precursors that led to Kairi, Sora, and Riku. I don't want to say too much. Also, I don't know too much because when I went abroad, I kind of didn't play much, and then life happens. So, it is what it is, but I'm definitely considering doing Aqua and Kairi. Kairi would definitely be the easier of the two, but decent Keyblades are expensive from what I've noticed. As many of you know, I'm just getting into some of the sewing and like making small modifications. I am not a builder or full-blown cosplay maker, so it is what it is. I'm excited for it. I really am. I want to do those, but it may take a while as I, save up money for this. Nothing wrong with that. Otherwise, for Genshin Impact, the main girl, though they have lots of characters that I'm interested in doing, the main girl's name is Lumine. Obviously, you get your own name. You pick it if you pick the girl. Mine's Ariana. I just love the name Ariana, so, like, all my games, they're all, like, called Ariana, yada yada, you know? But if I'm not Jess D Cosplay, my character is Ariana. It's like one or the two these days. But I really like her character. She's pretty, and it's a fun game to play, so I'm considering her as well. Again, I haven't seen many questions, and that's okay. I'm just chit-chatting otherwise about my experience and what my future plans are, but again, as always, feel free to join, ask questions, and, hang out. So, just making sure there weren't comments. I see somebody joined on Instagram. Hello! But, okay. So, what do we got? Talked about, like, some of the ideas I have for the future. I do want to I'm not going to build it from scratch by any means, but I do want to eventually piece together an Arcanine cosplay. They have a specific name. Pokemon human cosplay. I forget the word. There's a specific word for it. Gajinka. So yeah, I do want to make a... Hi again. I see more people on Instagram. Hi. I do want to make a Arcanine Gajinka at some point. Arcanine's my favorite Pokemon. I play Pokemon Go. I've played many of the original games. Like, my husband and I go on Pokemon dates where we just play Pokemon Go. It's good exercise, I mean, a friend who plays Pokemon with us and her brother, we all went to a park the other day, wearing masks, socially distanced, something outside, and we all have at least our first dose of the vaccine. So again, life has to move on, but we want to be safe about it at the same time. So we went to a park and we just played Pokemon Go gyms, work on our badges, or platinum badges, because we're all trying to get to level 50 now. I'm currently level 47, but unfortunately I got a lot of experience to go to get to level 50, and it costs money if I want to rush, so we'll see about that. But the point was, it's one of the things that I would like to cosplay, as I love Arcanine. Like, I don't know if you can see, and I'm sure I've mentioned this in previous streams, but my husband got me this beautiful Arcanine blanket. I adore it. I love it. It's like my favorite thing in the world. Not really. I love my cats and my husband more than the blanket. Most days. But seriously. So I want to do that. I'm going to be moving so like many of you know, I live in New York. Not going to obviously say specifically where because, safety protocols and stuff, but I'm moving to Cali either this summer or next. Just depends on when my husband and I get jobs over there, because we need the warmer weather. And so one of the things I'd like to do before I leave New York is host a cosplay meetup for just my New York cosplay friends before I leave. It would be nice. I don't know. Hi guys. I see Somebody else joined with Instagram. I don't know if it'll happen, especially with COVID, but it would be nice to have at least one more chance to cosplay and, you know, say goodbye. But again, just because I'm moving does not by any means mean I'm over with cosplay. It just means I'm going to thank you. Yes, no, I definitely plan to. Just because I'm moving does not mean I will be done with cosplay. It just means that I will be cosplaying in New York less. I do have family in Upper New Jersey and stuff, so, and my family is originally from Pennsylvania, so I'll definitely be back on the East Coast at some point. Maybe go to cons here, but I definitely want to have one more chance to see my friends before I leave. No, not at all. I'm sorry, I took off my computer glasses, so I have to, like, squint to see the messages. But yes, even though I don't cosplay a lot, I do. That it is. Even though I don't cosplay as often as I like, it is something I'm still very passionate about, which is why I do these AMAs and I just chit chat with people. And, you know, it's a great way to meet a lot of fun people and, you know, make friends. Though, as always, the cosplay community does have some toxic people, and I mean, every community does. It's not different in that regard. But it also has a lot of amazing people who are just so willing to share their expertise to some degree, especially if you're polite about it. And I mean, maybe they don't, and that's okay. But it is what it is, and I am a teacher, so I should be able to get a job in Cali. But I teach English as a new language, so my focus is on students who their home language is not English. So they might be multilingual, they might be bilingual, but it's basically a support to improve their English speaking abilities. However, I'm very much of the opinion that the home languages or the other languages should be respected as well. But I basically work, at least right now, I'm working with higher education, so high school, and I'm working with mostly transitional and higher, so the ones that have the basics down. So we do a lot of like grammar support, writing support, just breaking what other teachers say down, and thank you. But breaking things down so that they understand what's going on, because especially the later they come into the country, for the ones who are immigrants, not all the students I work with are immigrants. It just depends. Some are naturally born here, but their home language is different, so they don't use English at home. And so my job is to help them. Usually, like, I definitely prefer to work with transitional and higher because I can get deeper into the meaning, but I have worked with beginners before, though with youngers, like elementary when I was teaching in South Korea. But at least at the high school setting, if they're new to the country, I usually encourage them to go to a bilingual school because high school has so much content that it just overwhelms them, which is why I recommend bilingual education for a newcomer to high school. But I'd obviously do my best. I am not, unfortunately, bilingual myself. I know like a few phrases here and there in a couple languages, but Japanese is probably the one I know the most. And I can at least survive the basics, like get places in order and stuff in Japan, but I gotta work on it. Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. It was nice to meet you. But anyway, back to cosplay. Though again, I'm a very open person, and as long as it's not too personal, I'm usually happy to answer your questions. But as I said, I'm moving, and It'll be interesting because every time you move to a new place, and I've been to Japan, I've been to South Korea, I've been to Pennsylvania, New York, like living places. I've lived in New Jersey briefly, and so now it's going to be Cali, and my husband has family there, which is part of why we're going there. But you always have to find a new cosplay community, and that can be really difficult sometimes. Like, obviously, there's like Facebook. Facebook's amazing in that regard. There's meetup.com and just other things like that, which of course I'll be using when I move after I get settled. But you also have to find your niche. So, not every cosplayer fits in every situation. We all have our own personalities, like just like any group, and you have to find what works for you. I found a lovely group here in New York. I have some great friends that I'm going to miss when I move, and definitely visit when I'm in the area. But you have to, go meet new people when you move. It will be a little harder than New York and South Korea because, well, maybe not South Korea. South Korea was hard in the beginning because a lot of them did not speak English, which, hey, that's not their fault. That's my fault for not learning Korean. But it was interesting because some of the photographers spoke English. A few cosplayers spoke English. They were always very nice to us, and so they, we managed to figure it out. I had a nice friend named Kathy who introduced us to the private cosplay group there, and for the most part, they were very welcoming. I even got to be an extra on the movie Accidental Detective, which my name is literally in the credits because I'm an extra. You can't really see me. I'm this like white and red blur in the background of one scene, and that is I was doing Asuna Yuki that day with my sword, and I'm literally a blur. You can't see me. However, if you've seen the movie, it's the part where the cosplayers are that was that private group that I worked with in South Korea, and they basically asked a bunch of cosplayers to be extras for their movie. And if you've seen the movie, it's the chase scene before he gets on the bike. That's where all the cosplayers are. Anyway, it was a cool experience. I got my names in the credits of the movie. That was cool, even though you can't see me. Like I said, I'm a little white and red blur in the background that if you didn't know I was there, you'd never know. But hey, it was a fun experience. So again, you gotta find your niche. That one was a little hard because of the language barrier, but there were photographers who did speak English, and there were some who also were just very nice, and even though they didn't speak English, we managed to figure things out. New York was probably the easiest because, public transit, which Korea did have, but they were speaking English, so I had less of a barrier there. My biggest barrier for cosplay for Cali is probably going to be transportation. I hate driving. It is a trigger for me. I don't want to do it. I am going to hate every moment of it. Let's just say that's it. So that's going to be harder for me because from what I know about Cali, cars are more necessary. Since I've left college, I've been in, or even my senior year of college, I've basically been in towns that had public transit, and usually good public transit. Tokyo had, South Korea, New York, they are amazing for their public transit. So that's probably going to be the hardest thing, transitioning to cosplay in California. And yeah, not looking forward to that part. Let's just say I will definitely be when I figure out where we're going to live and work. I'm definitely going to be researching the options for public transit or harassing my husband to take me places. He's going to make me drive. I'm going to hate it. Not looking forward to it. But, I want to cosplay, so I'm going to have to learn something. I can kind of drive. I've had my license since before I went to Korea, and I think I maybe the only time I was not with another adult driving in the front seat. Not with that I was driving without another licensed adult in the front seat was I went around my block once. My hometown. That's it. So, needless to say, that's going to be hard. But again, these are things we do to follow our passions, our hobbies. Not the easiest for me, but we all have our challenges, like I said. Otherwise, let's see. Is there anything else? I mean, this is kind of, since people are quiet today for the most part, I'm just chatting about my hopefully future in cosplay. I'm not a huge fan of the big cons, but I will probably go to San Diego. Is it San Diego Comic Con? I will probably go to the big Comic Con over there at least once, just for the experience. But if it's anything like New York Comic Con, it will be one and done. Like, I much prefer Anime New York City, Big Apple Con, and things, these much smaller cons. And though Anime New York City is getting pretty big, just because New York Comic Con, 20,000 people, anxiety provoking. I mean, you can't really wear big costumes, which, hey, for movement's sake, that's not necessarily bad, but, like, you can't move. You can't find people. Like, you can barely see the vendors. You get pushed around, and, like, it's not as pleasant, I find. So unless you're planning on sticking in one spot the entire time, big cons can be a little difficult. But that's okay. Everybody likes their own things. And I'm always willing to give it a shot. Still haven't gotten to CatsCon, though. And it's always around my birthday, too. One of these days, I'm going to make CatsCon. CatsCon, I am. I just don't know when. Pity it's not going to happen this year. Well, I don't know if the con is going to happen, but I'm probably going to be moving. So, things will be a little chaotic for the next year. But that's okay. Anyway, let's see. We got about 3 minutes left, so what else am I thinking about doing? I might do Ginny Weasley, because I already have everything else for Hermione. So Ginny Weasley would be pretty easy, just a different wig and wand. But otherwise, not much going on here. Besides, moving. Cosplay-wise, I mean, I am hoping to get my measurements retaken. As I said, different body type as you get older. So I am hoping to get my measurements retaken at the end of April by my mother-in-law, who does some sewing and stuff. So I trust her measurements. And probably go from there when I'm thinking about purchasing these costumes. Because, again, as I've said before in previous AMA, it's worth the extra money to get it tailored to you. It looks so much better on you, and even if you only have 1 or 2 costumes, but if they're tailored to you, you're going to rock it and look amazing. So, for me, at least, it's worth saving up the extra to have it custom made or tailored. I like pictures, though, so that's for me. And I mean, if you're a beginner cosplayer, that's not maybe something you want to do. You might want to just start cheaply, start small, and go from there because you want to explore it, see how it goes. And that's perfectly okay too. Everybody has their differences. Everybody has, what they like, what they want to do. And again, nothing wrong with that. I do also want to do more male characters, like, let's see, who did I want to do? Todoroki from My Hero Academia. Everybody loved Todoroki. But I'm thinking of doing him because partly I like short wigs, preferable to long wigs. They just are more comfortable. They don't pull as much, less migraines. And it's a fairly simple costume that you can, if you get the school uniform, you might be switching, characters. I do that with Love Live all the time. Different wig, new character. Yay! Save money. Great way to do it. But time is running out. I want to thank you guys for those who joined and even those who will watch it later. I always appreciate it. If you have questions, feel free to post them here. Let me know. I'm always happy to answer them for the most part. otherwise, for those of you who celebrate Passover and Easter, happy Passover, happy Easter. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. And, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm rocking these bunny. I don't know if you can see it well. Anyway, on my fingernails is a funny bunny set from Color Street in celebration of Easter. If you're interested, send me a message and I'm happy to send you the link. But because Color Street has tons and tons of nail strips that are great for cosplay, which is why I love them. And like, I keep my nails short, so I get what, 2 uses out of them usually. So for roughly $15, if you're tax and shipping for one set, that's basically a nice manicure, pedicure, whatever you want to call it. Though I find the fingernails are definitely easier than the toenails. You get 2 sets, 2 uses out of it, or even one for $15. It's way cheaper than going to the salon. And a lot safer these days with COVID. But anyway, as I was saying, happy Easter, happy Passover for those who celebrate. If I'm missing your holiday, I'm sorry, let me know, and I'm happy to wish you a happy holiday. But thank you guys again, and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys. And live. And live.